Hey there, I am JB and welcome at a rainy Artsville Cities Skylines 2. I got a couple of things for today that I would like to work on, and I would like to start off with a comment, and this comment is of Inanna saying the first thing you should do is check the traffic is running properly, and this especially applies to delivery traffic. Lower the tax on whatever good it sells or uses to produce to solve the high resource cost. Take a look at the material requirements of the affected companies. If you click on the building, you will see various information about the company on the left hand side, including information about what materials the company needs and what goods it produces. Also, try to make your own materials so they do not import. Not my tax, I take 0 credits, I use Google to help you out. Your city looks amazing, I'm a newbie with Cities Skylines 2. Did Cities Skylines 1, but looks very nice. Thank you a lot for the comment. I really appreciate it when people are trying to help me out. I really like that. Gives a bit of interaction with you guys, and on this way we are building the city together. So the comment is actually referring to the problem that I'm having here in the industrial area. I tried to look at it and Inanna basically saying click on the building, right? And then take a look at what it requires and what it produces, and or look at the traffic. The delivery is basically from this area that goes through this road here, then through the side road, and then kinda goes right down here. It is not much of a distance, if you would. Now if we're going to check out our money, which at this moment is minus 4 million for whatever, you can clearly see that we are overproducing stone. Or rock in this case. So then I would say, isn't there a system that would lower the amount of cost so they get rid of the stone quicker? So wouldn't it mean that this company down here gets the rock cheaper? Now I'm not really sure where to go next. Then besides that, I should take a look at the taxes, right? And the first thing that you can notice right now is that the timber is minus 10 million. I had it on 0 before, and then I was like, okay, it's, let's see what happens when we crank it up once. So now the timber shouldn't cause any trouble anymore. I have been searching on the forum of Steam. There was a couple of other people actually complaining about the same problem, so this here might be bugged out and I should just leave it as it is and don't focus too much on the timber at the moment. Let's go to where it says rock, which is right down here. So in this case, let's reduce the amount of rock, let's say 5%, and then let's see along the way what is going to happen with that. I would say delivery wise it is pretty up close. It is almost like they can throw the stone right down here. Now of course we also have the high rent problem. I could lower the taxes also for that one, but I'm also going to need to be a little bit careful. Now how can I check what is in here person wise? Let's see, there are teens, adults. There's poorly educated in here, so what I think I should be doing is lower the taxes on poorly educated. So let's also put this on 5, right? Let's take a look at this one down here, which is also, it's an educated. So yeah, on this one I need to put the educated also lower. Now, anything else? Let's click on this one for an example. This one is also an educated and a high educated. This one is educated. So basically educated and lower will cause problem. Anything below that doesn't really seem to be a problem so far. Now let's hope that everything goes fine and things will solve by itself. So now of course we also have a problem right down here. Let's take a little look at that. This is just not enough customers. I'm not really sure what I can do besides maybe at some point upgrade, what is it called, public transport. In this case, I cannot just do anything about this just yet. I will at some point, but the thing that I would like to focus on for right now is that slowly but surely we get more demand for low residential, right? And we are kinda yeah, running out of space for that to just plop down. So my thought is I want to create something down here. All right, and so we got the project for mini low residential neighborhood. Now the thing is, the further you go into the future, the more gridded things can be, right? Because there are like different projects, people have ideas, how can we make things better? Now I do also have a lot of space between and I have done that on purpose because maybe in the future we're going to need to have a train track to it, or maybe a above ground metro line or a tram line or anything. And the whole idea of this neighborhood will be that we're gonna make some small housing in here. So I would like to do this, and this is not what I had in mind. I had in mind small houses, so I'm really going to need to plop down these eeny meeny type of deals one by one apparently. Of course I can also start the neighborhood like this, right? That, and then just simply take the villa, fill in. It's gonna take a bit of work, but I just want to see what this does with the whole game, right? Just want to see, will these people also complain? Are they not gonna complain? How is the neighborhood gonna look like? Will people still say, hey, the housing is big enough? Because, you know, if that will be the case, then I'm gonna be very happy with that. Now, of course, I'm also going to need to keep certain other things in mind, like we're gonna need to build like a small roundabout. For neighborhoods, I want to keep it between this one and that one. This is more for maybe farm areas. This is more for small neighborhoods. This one is really starting to be for industrial area because trucks are larger. And this one is for the absolute mass, which I will just show in a minute what I mean with that. So in this case, I had this road down here until, I believe it was right down here. So I thought, you know, let's connect it up. So we also have a spot /is. Not really, but in the middle of this neighborhood almost, we got like a connection going from the dense town into this neighborhood, and we got a connection from this into the neighborhood. Now, meanwhile I was busy with this, I had also in mind that we're going to need to have a school, so that's why I got this middle part down here. I want to have like a elementary school. You know, that moment something pops up in your mind and then 2 seconds later it is completely vanished into a void of nothing. It is basically that moment when you look at your watch or your mobile phone, put it away, and then you think like, okay, but what was the time again? I'm not sure what I wanted to do here. Yeah, but anyways, what I wanted to do on this other side is place this guy down. Other one, I'm gonna aim it out in the middle, /is, and then I'm going to say, I am happy. I am one of the happiest persons right now because it's aimed out. Now, I've been speaking about... Yes, what I've been speaking about? I have been speaking about make things look historical correct. I use that word a lot, and I have something in mind for that to show it to you guys. Because I had in mind, we can use this area to make things look historical correct. And in the future, I'm going to make a video that is going to be all about making things look historical correct. And just give you a small example, just a little teaser, right? We need to go back into the days to make things look historical correct, right? There was a king that wanted to own this piece of land down here. He thought, you know, this piece of land down here is just perfect to defend myself. We could even make like a wall down here, like the first breaching wall for before they come into the kingdom. They can have like farmers out here, everything nice and safe, and it's going to be very difficult to cross the river because this is a very big river and it has a very strong flow. Now, you know, as time progresses on, you've played those games where you know, like Banished or any of these medieval games where you just start a settlement, right? You just place the first building down, then a road and another road. And this is how you know, you should be playing Cities Skylines. You should just grab this guy. No, wrong, this guy, because this guy is going to be for something else. And then you're like, you know, this settlement needs to have contact with other settlements, or maybe a settlement in the ocean. So you're going to think like, you know, at some point that will have a road that goes this way, and people always walk these roads, and the road goes that way, and it goes that way. and follow the river maybe for a little piece. So you have one road going already. And then at some point you might have another road because, you know, people are how they are with crossing. I'll just show it in a second what I mean. So you're gonna have a road this way because these people need to go maybe to a settlement behind the mountain, or maybe they're going to, oh god, they're gonna have a mine out here, a mine for certain resources. So there might be another road going that way. And this settlement down here also need to have contact with a settlement down there. So eventually you will have a road that will cross this road, and that road, which will, you know, be right down here, and make this road down there. And then you start thinking like, you know, the city slowly builds, and there might be a road down here, and there will be a farmer guy that owns this piece of land, and there will be another farmer dude that owns here a piece of land and there a piece of land, and you know, etc. And this way you need to go through time and ages and trying to role play what happens through time and ages. And on this way you're gonna create like natural type of roading. And then what I was trying to say before with this is what you can do is keep in mind for a train station. So you could eventually say like, until a certain point, you don't have it unlocked as yet. Let's save this piece road up. A train track is at least, I believe it's too wide. So you could say, let's not allow myself to build within these areas or this area, because in the future you're gonna build a train track down here. Maybe close off an area down here for the train station in the future. And on this way you can kind of role play for yourself throughout time and ages to make your city look more historical correct. So that was a little history lesson with me. And so I pressed on play, and then I got the sculpture mansion. The shape of this mansion reflects the art of the sculpture who owns it. Sounds very interesting. And so my game crashed. Yep, gladly the game didn't crash that far back, so I just have to place a couple of houses here and there, and then things are fine again. So before I'm going to look at another problem that I'm having, let's take a look at this beautiful build. This build gives a +6 well-being within 1.5 kilometers. I wish with this game that before you plop this thing down, it would show like a ring around the area of how much it would be doing. Laminated floors. Beautiful. I would love to have a seat like that. Ah, yes, that reminds me another thing. Now also, developers, you might wanna, you know, lower certain bits and pieces there. So another thing that I got in mind is I wish that the developers would get these trees out of this thing, or at least, you know, give some kind of a building mode type of deal where we can remove those trees or forbid these trees, better to say, from growing. This is kind of a rich neighborhood. So let's just pull up this guy right down there here at the sport park. You're just going to imagine there lives a very kind person down here that had this ground bought a long while ago. It had like an old farmhouse and whatnot, and he was living before in this house, right? He bought this ground a long time ago, and he been building a new house, and then he was like, you know what, I want to do something for the neighborhood. Let's build a sport park out here. People can make use of it. This very kind person. So, you know, with a little bit of fantasy, you can get very far. Ooh, this is absolutely insane. Now, I have already been doing a little bit something about this area. I can't remember if I've been showing this Yeah, I think I did. I remember now there was one car that went like this, and I said, no, 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 you're not gonna go like that. Let's remove the arrow from the road from going here. You have to go via this, right? It saves a little bit of trouble. Yeah, so I did a little bit of stuff. I got this road here for them to go like that instead of going all the way around. But the traffic is a fun thing of Cities Skylines 1. That was one of the satisfying things to play around with. Now we got a huge, like an absolute ginormous traffic problem, and I am already seeing something that I could be doing. Pause it down here. Let's have a little bit of traffic fun, right? I'm just going to build out this building. I am really sorry for doing that. I really am. Let's just pretend this building, the city town wanted this spot for a very long time. This building burned down and then the city bought it. But to be a little bit friendly, I'm being a friendly guy. I'm going to say, you know what, my friend? You are going to get a new spot right down there to build up your store. Do a little compensating type of deal, right? So, which basically means we now have road access down here. We need to have more road access because all of these folks are going to go down here. And if I start building stuff here, all these folks want to go down here, down there, etc. So, choke point, it definitely is. And later on, you know, let's not later on. Let's right now. And now, you know, we have a thing. And what I would like to do with this thing is also, I want to be sure that people that need to go here, go there already instead of going, you know, via that. So let's just place this right down there. And do a couple of traffic management things. So it is for these folks absolutely forbidden to go that way. Like that, and this is fine. So now we have here entrance room at this angle. Later on there will be an on and off ramp right down here, and we're gonna also create something that goes that way, which will reduce the traffic down here because, oh boy, I am having issues with this. Now traffic management is gonna be super duper delicious for this game because the reason why it looks like total horse apples is because right down here, this road was a continue until here, or here something, and then it's like split up into 2 times 2 lanes, right? So there's 2 lanes here, 2 lanes there, 2 times 2 lanes, 2 times 2 lanes. Gonna go into a this thing. Now the problem right down here is that these 2 lanes were being troublesome down here, crossing each other like crazy, stopping the traffic. So I was like, what if you're gonna go cross here? Apparently there are no rules for this. I'm just gonna show you that in a second because let's just first focus on this major problem right down here. So this is fine. This here is not fine. Now what I'm going to need to do, and this is also that's typical me. This was also a problem down here. So I have a one-way going here, and then yeah, people have to go around if they want to go in here. Traffic, traffic, traffic. Let's just get a thing out, and let's just, oh, that is not aimed out, but it's fine, I guess. So let's just have this go. Let's just have this go. What? Let's have this go. Okay, it is all -6 or +9. Like, oh, I wish this game, you know, had like a straight option. Let's just go straight. Let's not go minus this or minus that. Nice pillar construction right down here, and I'm not even gonna ask why and why not. But in this case, I now have the road right down here, which I think is better than having it somewhere right down here. So we really forced them to use this road because some people might think, hey, this road here, this might be shorter than going around here, right? So let's connect all of this stuff back up and see how it goes. Maybe a little bit speed up. Gonna be a bit of a problem down here. Yeah, people are already making use of this, which some people here might like it to go there. So that is one thing. And here, some people also already make use of this. Now down here, of course, we don't need traffic lights. Now we got traffic rules for that. This is perfect. And then I do believe slowly but surely, this should reduce the amount of traffic right down here. And I just see some despawning. It is what it is. Also down here, let's help the traffic a little bit. We don't need any traffic lights over there. It's getting busy here and there, but yeah, so that is one problem solved. Now we're having problem number 2. Let's take a little look at it, how it looks. And basically, it seems like traffic is an issue. What am I saying here? Pedestrians and traffic lights. Okay, so here comes the question. What can I do about that? How can I solve this ginormous input of traffic and output of traffic? Maybe, just a tiny maybe, something is getting into my mind at the moment. Now, what seems to be the biggest issue here, besides this car being absolute dum-dum, is that there is also a lot of traffic coming here which stop the other traffic, right? Now, what we can do is turn this into a one-way in, and then we need to have another one-way out, which I was like, how cool would it be if there was like a tunnel opening here where the traffic comes out, which we do have some space here and there. Let me see, we have some lower buildings here. I could say, you know, get out of here and just make a little bit of space. Well, in this case, I had to go a little bit bigger than I wanted to, but you know what? It creates the city, it gives it more detail and that kind of stuff. So I'm happy with what we're doing here. A traffic problem, solving them is, you know, actually a fun thing though. I have to be honest about that. In this case, what I would like to do here is, first of all, we're going to need to make it into a one-laner from this guy. I think. No, I don't think. We're going to need to change it into... let me see here. So, it's just so confusing what I'm trying to do here, maybe for you guys. But I'm trying to do my best. Do I need to go into the ground? Yeah, okay, so. This here is a two-laner. 1, 2, I'm just gonna say. Which, I wonder if it will be better if it's a 4-laner. In this case, we don't have. We have a simple 3-laner. So let's just keep it with what it is. For now, let's also upgrade this guy that way and this guy that way. So we got one lane here, one lane there. I think it will be beautiful. So now let's see if we can solve this problem. First of all, I would like to make this straight. So how about until right down there? So at least it's fine. This problem here is like, ooh, what are you doing? And then I'm like, I'm doing this, and then get rid of that, which place it back. Stop doing that game for the absolute love of God. Let me just reattach this like that. Then I hope it is like one section, not French, by the way. Yes, I'm not really sure. Until here, it is fine, right? That's fine. Then how about here? This is also fine. I've been saying it before. And plus 2 for that little thing. It's okay. So now, look at that. Didn't even go in there. So now we have created this down here. So I'm super duper happy with that. This building can grow back. So now, let's also take care. And let's, for the sake of things, put this back where it's supposed to be. Yes. Beautiful. Yes. Okay. Now, one way, right? Okay, as when the traffic flows, it flows. Perfect, look at that. Perfect. Okay. Gonna go find there. We're gonna go out of here. Yep, cross sections. It's okay. It's fine. Now, of course, it could mean that rush hour is, you know, gone because no more rush hour. Another problem we have right down here, and what can I do about this? Because the issue here is not having a lot of traffic. The issue is that every car each several seconds that comes here stops the whole show, and I don't want the show to be stopped. It's not okay. So let me just change this back to just show you guys what I was talking about before. Now just take a look at what's going on down here. Now maybe making this into a 3-laner wasn't a good idea. Now let me just change it back to a normal one. Now of course, funky stuff. Why not? It's Cities Skylines. Okay, there we go. Okay, what else? Well, espresso. Turn these traffic lights off, get rid of these things, and roll. Snel, snel, snel. Now, what do you notice here? You can notice the same problem as before. I wish this game would flow a little bit better with the traffic. And this is also an issue we saw in Cities Skylines 1. It just, like, what the hell is you guys even doing? Like, now of course, like I've been saying before, and I'm just gonna slow it down again. There are certain solutions that I can come up with in order to solve certain problems. Like, of course, a roundabout here would be nice because this is just very short. Let's just take care of that. Let's just get rid of this one, that one, that one. Let's just plop a giant about right down here, and or people are not allowed to make use of the cross sections between in, because, you know, people can cross here and there and here. Gotta be a rule. Now, of course, what I could also do is just fix my own roundabout, like a massive one. Let's see how this flows, right? Let's just see. Now, another thing that I would like to take a look at right now I'm thinking about it, is how are things going with the industrial? Complaining? Rock. I have been putting the rock taxes low as possible. I don't know. I just don't know. Like, wow, I'm even need to let's just keep it on 0%. Let's see if 0% is going to fix this stuff over time. Like, I don't have like too much rock. I can afford it. I just want to see if this doesn't solve it at all. Then I just don't know. Maybe the developers need to fix it or whatever. Because, you know, I have been reading now and then there are trouble with the economy of this game. But I do appreciate all the help, of course, because maybe next episode all of a sudden it's gone and I'm like, wow, it does help. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I've been looking at this for about 10 minutes or whatever. It seemed to be that the traffic has solved itself. It is now flowing. And let's hope for the future that it keeps flowing, and which I basically, you know, talk about rush hours. I see stuff going wrong here. You know, there are certain things that I can do in order to solve one and the other problem, but I cannot just solve all of them. And for this down here, I could say everyone who comes from this area, take an off ramp that goes underneath and then goes on here. That would solve some crossings, right? That's an easy thing to do. Even though there are some parts that just stress me up because, you know, it doesn't work immediately. I have, once again, I have enjoyed myself. A little traffic solving. I mean, there's a lot more to solve down here. Like, traffic is definitely very interesting a thing to work with. You know, for now I'm just going to see for fun, like, what will that do? And what if I turn that off?